Oh, yes. Oh, we are live again. And this is the
Amen.
Warrital Summit, where we are having conversations with authors published by the Warrital brand on authoring yourself into wealth, authority, and faith. And today I have another powerful, great guy that I'll be having conversation with. Let me not use the word is unfortunate that it's happening on 24th because I know by now a lot of individuals are in the village monkey they are munching lumps of meat and swallowing gari, and people are like, I beg, I beg, I beg. We don't have time. We don't have time. We have read enough. Let's munch pieces
Let's
of meat.
relax and enjoy.
Yeah, but nevertheless, we will have this conversation because I know when they are done munching their meat, they will still go back to come to check us out. It's
Yeah,
um,
most definitely.
it's one of the things about the online space. The thing is there. People can always check us out. We can run ads to it. A lot more individuals can see what we are doing. So
That's
thank you
true.
so much, Dan. I'm glad that you are here with me. I know that you ought to also be on holiday, but you are here with me. Also, I'm on holiday, but we are pausing our time to rest with our
Yeah.
families to have this conversation to help individuals as we begin to move into the new year 2023. And all we'll be discussing this evening will be about authoring yourself into authority, wealth, and fame. And I'm glad that we are having this conversation. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Okay,
Yeah,
and so
nice.
for everybody who is tuning in, if you tune in, please let us know where you are tuning in from, and we will pause and give you a shout out. We can say hi to you. So let's know in the comment section, probably your name, because some individuals don't answer their real names on Facebook. They answer their pseudonyms um, or their guy names. But let's know what your real name is in the comment section, and then let's know the city that you're tuning in from, whether you're in Nigeria or outside of Nigeria, and we shall give you a shout out. Okay, so my guest is prepared. He's prepared to give us very blockbuster conversation this evening. I mean, his bio is intimidating. I've read all the things that he's been doing, change catalyst, this, that. I mean, sometimes when I read certain CVs, I'm like, this is my first degree. I need to hide it somewhere. I'm just a degree holder in mechanical engineering, for God's sake. And I've been having conversations with PhD holders, master degree holders, and sometimes I get intimidated and I'm like, I go to read and read and read. I come and fire the one question that I know that to show them that I follow for the work. So anyway, that's all right, guys. So I want my guest on this show this evening on the summit this evening to introduce himself. Dan, tell us, give us a history. I know you have been on this conversation. You have always been tuning in, and you know how we've been doing it. So give us a brief rundown of your life from birth till you discovered what you're doing, what your university time, your academic pursuits up until what you're doing right now. I mean, you're doing such an amazing work that I can't even count the number of labels that you have. Really, it's intimidating. So, just give us a rundown of that as we segue on that into the conversation for this evening. Go ahead, sir.
All right. I think it's up to me now, right? Because we're kind of breaking. So
Yeah, go ahead.
for
Go ahead. Go ahead and have a conversation. Go ahead and just
okay.
give us a description of
All right.
yourself.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
All right. I'll do that now. All right. So my name is Dan Arubasa, right? I'm from Delta State, Nigeria. Isokoba tribe, right? Somewhere Delta State, Isoko tribe, right? So I wouldn't bore you so much with my background story, secondary school, university, and all that. But then I will just look at my turning point where actually it turned for me because a lot of us can relate to this. I believe we can relate to this. So a few years back, I'm a Christian, so I believe in the Bible and I will preach the Bible. So I'll probably make reference to it as we go on because all my turning point came from that point that I had an encounter with God. Just like Emeka maybe said when he was saying, is this all that life is really about? So for me, I was dedicated Christian, read the Bible, pay tithes, sowed seeds, give offering, heavy offerings, sacrifices, and all that. But my life, my finances wasn't changing. You know, I was doing these things. I was committed to it, but my finances wasn't changing. And if you're a Christian, the Bible has promises that if you do this, this will happen. If you do this, will happen. But my life wasn't just changing. I was paying tithes, I was sowing seeds, I was giving heavy offering, but my life wasn't changing. So I have to turn to God and start asking questions. Why is my life this way? Is it that I've not sowed enough seed? It's not as, is it as if I'm not paying, as in paying enough tithes or giving enough sacrifices. I've done this, I've done that. I've been kingdom service addicted and all, but I'm not seeing the result in my finances. So it was in the midst of this encounter, at the midst of this pain, crying to God, asking questions and all that actually it was as if that day I had an encounter, not that I saw God physically, but it was as if God took me to Ephesians 1:3, where the Bible was talking about the fact that blessed is the Lord who has blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places in Christ Jesus. And was like, what does it really mean? And it was telling me that the prayer that I'm praying, that He should bless me and all that those are prayer that He cannot answer, because he already blessed me as a person. So I cannot be asking I will not be asking Him to give me what He already gave me. And I was like, if you have already given, if you have already blessed me, right, why is my life still hard? Finances, I'm still struggling. Why is it like this? So He said I should look at the verse again. I have to go back to that verse, look at it critically. I said, what did you see? It said that the blessing is not, as it is not physical. The blessing is spiritual. It's heavenly places. So it's spiritual. So, and if it's spiritual and it's a spiritual being, how do I convert that spiritual blessing, right, into its material equivalent? That was the next question I was asking. If you've blessed me, I agree that you've blessed me. Where's the blessing? Is not physical, it's spiritual. I decided explaining to me that, for instance, if you have a bag that is loaded with a Ghana Mazula that is loaded with naira, and you appear somewhere in the US, right? Even though you have the money, even if it's 1 billion naira that you have, you will be broke because you can't buy anything with the money. You have to first of all convert the naira into the US dollars before you can spend. So because the blessing is spiritual, I will first of all, and I live physically on the earth, I have to find a way to convert what He has blessed me with into a material equivalent. Then it was at that point that told me that, what knowledge do you have? What experiences do you have? What are the things that you know? Those are the spiritual blessings that you have that can be converted into material expressions. It was at that point that you won't believe me, but within the space of like 3 months, I had 3 to 4 months, I had about 5 manuscripts of different books, one of which was published by Warita, right, which is the power of discovery, right? And it went on to, as in the book is about my personal experiences and what God showed me from all that. You won't believe it, but within that space of 3 months, going to 1 year, I got my first car. Then not just that, somebody actually paid £1 million for my books for the first time. He saw my book, liked it, and said, you know what, I'm going to pay £1 million. Push the money into my account. I did printing and sent the copies to him. That was how my life actually started changing, when it comes to writing. So that's just my life. I've been on that path. So I'm just pushing content, trying to convert content into books, because He has blessed me with the gift of writing, right? And knowledge and experiences. Those are my spiritual blessings that I have to find a way to convert them into the physical, expressions, like product and services that people have to pay for. So since that time up to that, I no longer pray the prayer of God bless me. I just ask Him for direction of what I have that I can convert, that He has blessed me with, that I can convert into value, right? That people can pay for. And that's just my story.
Man, Dan, do you know that one of the blessings of me having conversations with people is the kinds of perspectives that I get to hear on this during these conversations? I mean, the other day I was having conversation with Sam Obafemi. Lots and lots of things that dropped in my head. I had conversation also with DK Jonah. lots of things that dropped in my head, in my heart. And now that I'm listening to you, I'm having a newer understanding of that particular scripture where that he has blessed us with all spiritual blessings. And now for it to manifest in physical form is to be able to take what God has blessed you with, your talents and your giftings, and begin to give them expressions to solve people's problems. This is very succinct. This is very, I mean, it's an amazing thing. And I can tell you, the truth is this: sometimes we tend to belittle the things that are inside of us. Let me give you a particular example. This audience money thing that I'm doing right now. I mean, this is an experience. And I went, how did it come about? I went to two events, and two same questions are two separate events where they asked me, Emeka, how have you been able to build your audience into what it is right now? We want to learn. And I give them 10 tips of the things that I've always been doing. And then when I left the place, I was like, a thought came into me and said, Mecca, this is something that you can earn from, because a lot of individuals have asked you this question, want to understand more. And trust me, I said I was going to do something with it. And that, I can tell you, I made that post on my timeline that I was going to teach individuals, and I started collecting money. I collected the money. My guy charged me 300,000 naira. I collect money from individuals upfront without even doing the video, and paid my guy everything. I for the money for the apartment came from the pre-orders that I started doing. And about now, we have done about 800. We've gotten 800 payments, and we started at 2,000. Then from 2,000, we went to 3,000. We went to 4,000, and I know I'm going to 5,000, 5,000, 6,000. Why am I saying this? Is the fact that as simple as it is, people are looking for the things that can transform their own lives, and you can make money from it. And the truth is that I know that I'm good at writing, but next year I said, okay, I think I can be doing 2 ebooks every month, so that by the end of 2023, I can do 24 ebooks. And let's say by December, I can do a promo and say, okay, all my 24 books is 3,000 multiplied by 24, that's 72,000. What if you have them for half the amount, 36,000, all of them? I can even bond them in a CD. I can bond them in a flash drive and send to people. Something like that. That is, and people will buy. So I love how you made this explanation about the spiritual blessings God has blessed us with. When people think about spiritual blessings, it's all about prayer, jijim, the kabashing, and all that stuff. And when they talk about money, they tend to like, that's not what God said. That's not what God means. And wondering why they are in penury, why they're not able to afford what it is that the basic necessity of life. As I am right now, I tell people I don't pray any prayer anymore to eat, to feed. I don't. I don't wake up in the morning and say, Lord's Prayer, give me what to eat anymore. The only prayer I'm praying, Lord, give me the strength, give me the health to stay longer, to be able to do. Because I know that He will always bless me with ideas, will always bless me with conversations with people, always bless me with the right kinds of individuals that I can have conversations with, and that will lead me to the sources of wealth. So I like that. I like how you did that. Okay, you have written a lot of books, man. You've written a lot of great stuff. I mean, you say that I am better than you, but you don't know that I'm intimidated by the kind of things that you do. That's what you don't understand. So I'm telling you right now, yes. So give us a journey into all the things that all the books that you've been creating. If you have some there in physical copies, let's see them. Tell us why you wrote the books you wrote, the ideas in the book, the objectives in the book, the purpose for which you wrote those books, and how those books are transforming people's lives, and also your own finances and on your well-being. Please take us on that journey, sir.
All right. So then I have right now I have just the Warrior, one published by Warrior. What is this? It came in both soft copy, that is a soft back, and also hardback. All right, hardback is somewhere here. So basically, this is like I said, my journey into taking writing seriously was from that one encounter, right? From Ephesians 1:3 that I have, and I have to find a way to convert my expenses and all that. So this is the power of discovery, right? That major discovery that I have, that I don't praying for God to bless me is a wrong prayer. That God has already blessed me. So what has He blessed me with? what has this blessed someone else with? They have to find a way to convert that into, an expression. So first of all, this is about the power of discovery, right? Because at times you have encounters or you have experiences and you argue with them. Okay, what do I have? You have blessed me. I'm not seeing the result and all that. This is basically the content of the fact that if you are doubting that God has blessed you with anything at all, if you are in doubt of what that means, that probably you don't have anything. It could not. It doesn't have to be writing or speaking, but it could be something very unique. If you are doubting that, right, that's why I wrote this book. So in that same encounter, God began to explain to me that I should look at the sun. That if I'm doubting that He has given me anything at all of value, I should look at the sun, right? That the sun, outside of this producing heat, right, to dry our clothes or heat for photosynthesis, light for that there is solar energy that was inside the sun. So naturally, look at the sun, all you see is the light that is producing. But from science, from study, we've been able to bring out solar energy from the sun, right? And solar energy right now as an industry, right, is worth billions of dollars. So all that money was there in the sun all this while, but it took someone to be able to research, right, knowledge to bring out solar energy from the sun, right? That was what he was explaining to me. Then outside the sun, that I should look at the trees that we have. That in the trees also there are drugs, right? There's drugs inside the vaccines on the leaves, drugs in the trees that we have around, on the plant and all that we have around. From those plants that are there, outside of just maybe probably use it to beautify your house or use it to cook food and all that, that there are drugs inside that people were able to look at knowledge from there and be able to bring out the knowledge of those knowledge contained in the plant and brought them out into existence, and they have built great businesses, right, of drug farm. In fact, not just businesses, but professions like doctors, like pharmacy. All these are things that came about because of the study of what could be brought out, right, from plants. Then also we have the animals, right? The animals that we have there, from all the shoes that we wear are from the animal skin. Most of them, as in our leather shoes, our leather belts, our leather bags, right? All these are the, so outside of just killing animals, and use it and we cook soup and eat. People were able to look at how they can convert that leather into other products that are also there. What about our electricity? The power that we use in our houses came from the sea. All these are, God gave us water, but inside the sea that is there, right? There was electrical energy in the sea. People have to think, brainstorm themselves, and bring that electrical energy out of the sea. And today it supplies light to the whole world. Industry has been backed and all that. So that is what basically this book is about. If you are doubting that there is something that you don't have anything, right? As in, why not look at creation? Creation. What's the value of man compared to creation? What's the value that we have as people, right, compared to creation? So if God has kept something of economic value in something like the sun, something of economic value in plants, something of economic value in animals, something of economic value in the sea and the earth, out of which you get crude oil, kerosene, gas, and the rest of them, right? All these are product of knowledge. So this is what this power of discovery is about, right? The book is loaded. So this part, so there's power of discovery. The when you discover, you now have what we call the power of potentials. What are the potentials of your discovery? So that's the series 2, which is the power of discovery, which is my second book. Is an ebook. The hard copy is not yet, but by next year, Walter is going to work on the other 4 series. So we'll have the power of discovery, which is already out. Then we'll have the power of potentials. You discover what you have. What are the potentials of what you have discovered? How do you maximize those potentials? When you have that, we also have the series that is called the power of processing. You have to process your potentials. You've discovered it. You discover the potential. Then you have to process it. Then in the process, also cover an entire body of work, right? Then after the power of processing, we have the power of production, right? So you discover what you have, then the potentials of what you have, you process what you have, then also you have produced products, right, or services out of what you've discovered. Then lastly, you now have what we call the power of marketing, right? So you have to sell what you discover, what you process, what you produce. Then you have to learn how to market what you have already processed and what you have already produced. So those are the series. There are 5 series that are in chain like that. So all these are books that I was sat there for like 6 months. They were just dropping, and I was documenting, I was writing, right, and converting them into ebooks. And that's where we are at the moment. Uh, and for me, finances is the life changing for me. That's why, like when Emeka was talking about how that the honest money, I was part of the first set, right, that paid for for when you were offered it for 2,000. I was the first of the first set that pays. So my money is part of the money you used to pay upfront for hotel and the camera guy. But the thing is, it's been life changing in terms of finances. Like, as in how I would just sit down and somebody is paying me 1 million. That was what blew my mind. That's paid me 1 million, saw the book and paid 1 million. And I should print copies and send to him. As in, the journey has been amazing. I got my first car, you know, just like my life was painful before I started, as in before I discovered that I could convert my writing skills into books that solve people's problems, right? And after I did that, everything just starts changing just like that. So I think I'll just stop there. Maybe you ask questions, we open up other things. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dan, for this great exposition that you're doing. I've already made a post on my timeline about what you just said. That praying to be blessed is a wrong prayer. I've already posted it on my timeline. I know that our spiritual brothers will attack me, but then that's what it is. And trust me, you have done something to my spirit this evening. Praying for God to bless you is the wrong prayer when He has already blessed you. I mean, oh gosh. I'm enjoying the conversations that the conversations I've had so far on this summit have been so lifting, I must tell you the truth. Okay, so tell us your perspectives. We have been discussing on these 3 concepts: authoring yourself into authority, wealth, and fame. I want to know your perspectives on these 3 concepts. How can someone author himself into authority, wealth, and fame? And also, use yourself as peculiar examples. I know you have been doing that, but what we do here is the fact is that when we use our personal examples, people will see this is possible. If he was able to do that, I think that God has blessed him. God has also blessed me with spiritual resources. I can do, maybe not like him, but I can do something with my own life. So share with us your perspectives on authoring yourself into authority, wealth, and fame, because you took what God blessed you with and you poured them out into physical expressions like books that solve the problems of people, and in return they gave you money and started building wealth. So share with us your perspectives on these things.
Okay. All right. I think it begins with faith in that you have something, right? It could be anything. Like I've been saying over this conversation, it could be anything at all that you have. It could be an experience, it could be a skill, it could be something, just as in something that is unique to you as a person. So it begins with the fact that you have faith in the fact that you have something, right? It's not possible that you don't have anything at all, right? You have something. That's why Elijah was asking that woman, "What do you have in your house?" So every one of us have something. You have to have faith in yourself that you have something. So talking about author yourself into authority, wealth, and fame, right? One of the striking statements that changed my life, right, is you can write it down if you want to write a book, but it changed my life literally, right? At the point when I started writing, right, I was having this feeling, who's going to read my book? When you have people like Emeka Novis who's writing powerful books, who's going to know me? Like Christians do, we have Oyedepo who have written about 60 titles. What do I even have to say that somebody will have to buy my book or to even pay money to get one book on? And I mean, you have great authors across the world, right? But one of the things, that day, where I was still on campus then, but where I was as a student, right? Where I was at that point in time, I can still point, I can take you to my school now and will show you where I heard that statement. Not that somebody spoke to me outside physically, but I heard it in my mind or in my spirit, right? Because I was battling with that battle of who is going to buy my books? What am I even writing them for? Because I was having inspirations, they would just be coming like that. So I was just putting my things out. I bet nobody wanted my book. What do I even have to say and all that? Until that statement came. And that's where that was when faith in my products, right? Like books was born. And the statement is this: that before great authors of today's arrive, there have always been great authors. And after great authors today's has left, there will still be great authors. Can I take that again? Right? Before the great authors of today, there have been authors, right? And after the authors of today, there are still going to be great authors. So when the people
Wow.
that know Oyedepo has gone, there's going to be powerful authors and are going to be great books that are still
True.
going to be written. So you must have faith. That you have to have faith in the fact that your books can be great in the next 100 years, in the next 20 years, in the next 30 years. So there are great authors, yes, but you have to have faith that you can write a book that can be life changing. It begins with that. So having that faith in yourself will propel you into investing in yourself. Like I can't like investing like in paying for consultation, paying for trainings, right? For like for instance, I can't name any of Emeka's training that Emeka maybe's training that he has released on content creation, maybe audience, anything that I have not paid for or even paid for someone. Why? Because I have faith in myself, in my product, that as much as I have faith in my ability to write, right, and I have to invest in myself. If you believe in something, it will affect your pocket. That is in terms of investment into trying to improve that thing. So you have to have faith in the ability that your books, right, can change your life. Then two, you have to also make a commitment to invest into yourself, in your skills, to improve yourself as an individual. For instance, like Eleka was talking about giving an example, right? So in 2016, all I have in my pocket was just 1,000. 1,000 naira, 2016, 1K. Not that I was broke, but as at that point in time, that was what all I have was 1,000 naira in my pocket. But here I was traveling from Bayelsa to Anambra State to go and meet my team who were students on campus at that point in time. So on that trip, all right, I had an inspiration. A training was coming up in Lagos with Sam Adeyemi. It was called I can't remember the name now. Is it influence or something, or I can't remember the title now, but it comes up every year November. So I had an discipline. It came fresh, and as it came, exactly the step I should take on how to move my team. My team, that's myself and about 7 of them who were still students, on what to do to move them from Anambra State to Lagos and stay for that training. It's called SLS Leadership Conference, right? That 2016 SLS Leadership Conference. So how to move them from Anambra State to Lagos for that meeting, right? All the step by step came to me in that one just inspiration. It just came like that. And what I had in my bank account at that time was just 1,000 naira. So when I arrived in school, I shared it with my entire team. I look at the situation I have, and I believe that this year, 2016, all of us are going to be in Lagos with 1,000 naira in my pocket, right? So I started, we had the first meeting. I told them how many of them were going to go. All of them said they were going to go. Okay, we look at the cost, what is going to cost each of us. Is as a papa, it was around, let's say, 15,000. They had to raise it. And we had about 2 weeks, right, to raise that 15,000. Don't forget they were students. It doesn't as if they had a job or anything. So we're going to raise 15,000. Each of them are going to raise 15,000 and join me on the trip and travel to Lagos. Now, within that 2 weeks, all right, each one of them were able to raise that 15,000 by the virtue of what I taught them for like 4 days. They had the money in their pockets. Now, the testimony is that when we left Anambra State University, heading to Lagos, right, where we were going to stay, all right, we didn't have. We were just going on faith based on what the step that I got by that inspiration. So we traveled, we were going on the way. In fact, we did some of our registration online on the way going. Now, it will tell you to know that we went for that conference. We stayed for 4 days in that conference, right? And came back from that conference. It was a life-changing experience for us, for every one of them. that went with me on that trip. Now, that experience alone for somebody is just an experience. But in 2017, after that experience, currently I've converted that experience, right, into an ebook and an online course at the same time. How? Just using my Microsoft Word to type that experience, just share the story of what happened, how each of them were able to raise 15,000 in 2 weeks as students to follow me on that journey, right, to Lagos. And we came back. And when I released that ebook and that online course, right, at that point in time, right, we have seen people who have used the same strategy to be able to use the same strategy to raise from just one guy had 2.5 in his account, but using that same strategy, he was able to raise about 283,000 within 1 week. And people have gone to buy that ebook online. People are going to take that online course online. So what I'm saying is, it didn't take so much of work. It's just that one experience that I was able to carry 7 people, right, from what do you call it, from Anambra State to Lagos. Students were able to raise money, and they arrived in Lagos, went for that conference and all that. Now, just to ship in, to make it a little bit clearer for us is, how did we get where we are going to stay in Lagos, not staying in a hotel? It was simple. The idea was, out of the 7 of us, each of us must know somebody that can accommodate at least 4 people in their places in Lagos for the 4 days. So let's start making calls. Everybody started making calls like that. We got 3 places that can accommodate all of us. Then the next choice was, where can we, as what's the closest place to the venue? Then we now make the choice for the closest place to the venue. So we went to Lagos, right? We didn't pay for hotel. It was just leveraging the strength of our circle of influence. And we went to Lagos. We stayed for 4 days, right? Enjoyed ourselves and came back. Is that experience that I packaged into an ebook, right? And I currently say online, and also plus an online course that supports it, right, along the way. So the journey of authoring yourself into authority, wealth, and fame, for me personally, is the life-changing. It's the life-changing, seriously. So let me just end there, because I know I'm taking a lot of time. I don't know if you're going to be see with us.
Dan, I'm just here enjoying it. Today is 24th, so we can go on and on and on. I'm just here enjoying your takes, your brilliance, man. This is my first time I'm having a conversation with you, and I'm just taken in by the way you are dishing out this concept. Guys, I know that you are here. I can see Ambrose. I can see James Iroro. I can see Ambrose Emenewa. I can see DK Jonah, always with me. I love this lady. I can see you Bright. I see Ambrose. I see, yeah. So guys, please, as usual, share this live stream. There's a share button beneath the screen. Just share it so that a lot of the videos can be partakers in what we are doing right now. Okay, Dan, we want to know, because it's not just about writing books alone. One of the key challenges that people experience when it has to do with authoring books is getting that book into the hands of people. My story today, if I remember my story, it kind of brings tears to my eyes. I mean, I was able to just sell 200 copies of my books. It was more of sympathy buying. After that, I couldn't even sell. I couldn't hand the book. I couldn't sell more copies anymore. So that's why I now decided to start studying marketing. So, but for you, share with us what strategies have you utilized so far to be able to get, because it's not just about authoring the book. We need to create the balance. Not just about authoring the book, but how can we get the book that we've authored? Because, you know, in our time now, before they used to say, if you're so good, people will beat down the door to your house. But I don't think it's the same thing now. You need to beat down people's doors into their own homes to be able to
show them what you're carrying on your head.
And show them what you're carrying. You get it? Just like you know, some of these things that happen in the Bible, I learned from them. You know, when Jesus was inside that house and there was this paralytic man that needed to be healed, these guys went to the roof. Sometimes I'm thinking, how did these guys do this? I'm using my house as an example. So these people, I go to my house like this. They go, they knock them. I be how they take do. You get what I mean? Did they pull the roof? How when they were pulling the roof, the thing was not making noise. People were not hearing him. Or I mean, what happened? What the Bible says that this man lowered the man from the top of the roof down into where Jesus Christ was. And that was how the paralytic man received his healing. That's the same thing that have to happen with marketing these days. You are not waiting for people to come to you. You are going and breaking down the barriers and getting into their houses, into their faces, to make sure that they are seeing what it is that you're carrying. So share with us the strategies that you'll be utilizing, sir, to be able to get your books out.
All right. So basically, you have to, many times I always refer to the Bible because that's where my strength is as a Christian. So, but most of the time we focus so much on prayers and fasting without doing the necessary things. Right? I think there was a time you made the mechanism. You made a post sometime, and you were talking about. I think you're talking about some of these your posts that you make on Sundays. You just tear us up. So we made the post, and I actually dropped a comment there. Now, most of the time, like in my church, which I will not mention the name for privacy reasons, right? Every week, if you are going out, at least when you come for morning prayers, they will give you flyers. At least each member will carry like 10 flyers, right? Every day you come for morning prayers, you're going to go with five flyers that will carry you all throughout the week. Every day you are going out, you're inviting people, talking to people about the testimonies that are happening in the church. You're talking about the powerful word that pastor is preaching and all that, and you are inviting people to church. Many people, when they are done with the sharing of the flyer, they go to their shop to go and sit down. Then now expect that God is going to bring, right? You're going to bring people who are going to buy their products from nowhere, right? As in between your business that you are selling, maybe a book that you have authored, right? Or a shop that somebody here, for example, and the soul winning that God is more interested in. Which one do you think is God will invest more spiritual power in? The point is, if the church that is about soul winning is sharing flyers to market what is happening in the church in terms of testimony on a daily basis, you that is purely into business, you are not doing anything of marketing about your product and your services. You are just doing yourself a disservice. Right? You even need more marketing for yourself than even the church need. But now the church is even doing more than you are even doing for your business or for your skill or for your expertise. So for me, it's more about the testimonials and the referrals that people give, but the feedback that I get from people are what I use for my marketing. Somebody goes through my course, the fundraisers master's class. Somebody goes through it, was able to raise funding and all that. And what was his experiences like? I document that, right? I put it into my funnel, right, on Facebook, on my Facebook ad, target any payments across Africa, right? I use Seller. For those who are outside Nigeria, I use Paystack, right? So I have to learn how to do Facebook marketing. So I receive referrals, right? I receive what you call testimonial for those who have experienced my services. Somebody picks a copy of my book, right? Reads it, right? And you see that the knowledge inside there is life-changing. I want you to share with me either in the video format or in the WhatsApp message reply. Tell me what you learned from this book. How life-changing was it after you have read it? I collect those feedback, right? I put them into my funnel as testimonials. I run Facebook ads into them, right? And collect money from outside Nigeria and within Nigeria. So the point is, you cannot just produce services, right, without investment in marketing. You cannot just produce services without investment in marketing. For instance, there's a story in the Bible in I think 2 Kings or thereabout, where there was one of the sons of the prophet, right, who used his two sons, like my pastor would say, to take loan. And at his dismay, when he died, the borrowers came. That is those he was indebted to came to his wife to take his two children as bond women, and the woman had to cry to the prophet. Then the prophet began to ask her, "What do you have in your house?" At the point, you remember that they had a jar of oil. After he had said that they had nothing, then at the point he asked her to go and borrow vessels, right? Pour those vessels into pour the oil into vessels, right? And the oil multiplied and all that. And she came back to the prophet, this anointed man of God, and told him that the oil has multiplied. The next thing the prophet told her was life-changing for me. And that is the fact that he said, go sell the oil, because the oil is not going to just stay there. Go sell the oil, pay their debts, and live down and their children on the rest, which means that in as much as you leverage these four things that are there, three things that are there. One, the power of relationships. The power of relationships. You can't break that. For instance, if the widow, as like Elisha told her, go and borrow vessels. If he had no good relationship with people around her, where would he have gotten the vessels from? Where? As if he was busy quarreling with everybody, no quality relationship with anybody, he was just living anyhow within the environment. There was nobody that was going to give her vessels into which she would pour the oil. So good relationship with people, social media influencers, somebody like you. Like at times I do, when you want to give, maybe you want to hold courses, I pay for some people to come and attend some of your courses. I'm trying to connect with you as a person. Even though this is the first time we're having this conversation life like this, but there are courses that I've paid for people to attend on your wall. Maybe it's even 2,000, 5,000. I just pay, just to connect with you and get people to connect with you also. That's relationship that you have to build. So it's not just about just producing products. You have to connect with people around your industry and also outside of your industry, right? The number two, the ability to sell. So the lecturer told that you have to sell the oil that have multiplied, then you can live down on the rest. So if you have quality relationship that you have to build as a service provider with your books, then also you have to invest in marketing. You have to go and learn Facebook ad. You have to go and learn Instagram ad and the rest of them. You have to even learn, even if it is one page designing of website, you have to go and learn all these things because marketing is a must. That's why I'm waiting for your book to come out, Shameless Marketing. Because I'm crazy about marketing. I invest, as I'm talking to you right now, I have an ad that is running. In fact, my two last ad ended yesterday, and the one is still running is going to end in the next 4 days, right? So I invest a lot in Facebook ad. So you have to build relationship, one. Then two, you have to learn the art and the science of selling your product. Then you have to invest in the craft of selling because you have to learn some things by yourself. So I think I will end there for the now. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Dan. This afternoon, as I was just about taking my bath, I started having ideas, just running into my head. These videos that I've done, I got out 7 of them, 10 of them to use to do for promotions, to share people tidbits here and there. So the thought was like, Emeka, why don't you put this on your timeline, on your Facebook page and run ads to it? You don't need to run conversion ads. You can run reach ads, make it reach out to as many individuals. You can choose Ghana and just target Ghana only. Just do reach ad. They just watch the video. People will watch the video and then they can enter into my WhatsApp. I'm trying to get a new phone because ever since I started using my A72, after a while it had issues. Back then, I used to make 20K every day consistently just by doing WhatsApp ads for people, for small businesses and all. 20K every day.
Okay, that's
And
on your status.
Yeah, my status minimum every day 20K. There was a time I used to do 3 ads, but at some time I'm like, I beg, let me not overdo this. So I reduced it to people paying 10, and every week 140K like that consistently. But then I don't know what happened. My status stopped loading. So somebody advised me to go get Samsung S Ultra S22 higher power, and then I decided to also. I don't know if you heard about one mission where you can send messages, broadcast messages personally to people. So that's what I'm planning to start to do in January. Get that phone and then get back to also doing the things I used to do on WhatsApp. But that idea was like, okay, run the reach ads, let them just watch that video. These videos I've been putting out, and then they can enter into my WhatsApp, and then I can market to them. And the thing is this: I said, okay, every month I can put out 100,000 naira to just run as 2 videos, maybe spend 3 videos, maybe spend 30K on each of them, or I can do 2 videos and spend 2K per day running those ads. So it will give me roughly that amount. So basically, I like what you're saying. In people investing in Facebook ads to be able to get their works out there. It's one very powerful thing to do. Thank you so much, Dan, for even these things you're sharing. You're confirming that my ideas are valid. my thoughts and the things that I'm thinking about promoting my works of valid. Okay, so as we begin to wrap up, tell us about your experience with Warital. How did you get in contact with Warital? What has your experience been with Warital? And do you think Warital is a company that you can advise someone to go to public? Tell us what your experiences are.
Okay, so basically, I think the information with Morita is mind blowing. The support system is just out of this world, right? So I heard about Morita from you, of course. You are the brand ambassador. So I heard from Morita from you because I bought a lot of the books. I bought your book we sell, Bank Alert. Just I can't remember the names now. So they are all, though some of them, as in majority of them were done by Warita, right? So I heard about Warita from you. So, and that I had to, like I said, these first series books I wrote were first ebooks, right? The power of discovery, the power of potential, the power of processing, power of production, and the power of marketing, right? They're all ebooks. So it was after I heard from you, like, okay, let me give Warita a trial and see what the experience is going to look like. It was amazing. Like me, I am a perfectionist. I know Fola will be laughing right now because we kept going back and forth. Let's change this, let's change the. But they were so patient with me. At the point we even have to change the project manager that I started with. We have to change from the first project manager to the second project manager. We have to create a support group. So Fola was there, the designer was there, and three other guys were there, plus myself. We were in that group. We're sharing ideas. I will say this, they will change this, they will change that. So the support system is just out of this world. Then the finishing, wow, it's always mad blowing. I love the hard copy. This is soft back, right? The soft copy back. The hardback, wow, I just love it. It's just out of this world. But for me, my what I would say is that warranty services is expensive, but then when you look at the value that you are getting, it is cheap compared to other platforms. As in, your finished product is going to look at how the money you spend or whatever you are putting out there to just so that you know what this is. If I publish a next book, it's definitely going to be Warita. In fact, all the series are going to be coming out are going to be published by Warita. So Fola and his team are doing an amazing job for me. That's my personal experience. As somebody who has dealt with them, who has experienced their brand, it's just amazing. Anybody that has a book that I want to publish, you are looking for a great support system that will walk through you from the proofreading all the way to designing the interior, all the way to packaging and everything, and even to sales and all that. Warita is doing an amazing job, right? So I'm just love what Fola and his team are doing. Just amazing, just amazing, just amazing. Thank you so much, sir.
Oh, thank you so much, Dan. It's been an amazing experience also with Warital, and that's why we are sticking to Warital. Next year, I'm doing 5 books at a time.
Wow.
I'm testing out writing 5 physical books at the same time. I will give them for one a piece, and then also in batch. So if somebody is buying 5, they will kind of go back with a very well designed pack, as a means of prestige. So Warital is doing amazing work, and we are glad to be part of the family. Okay, sir. So your final words. What do you have to advise individuals who are going into 2023 to be able to take what God has put inside of their hearts, their experiences, their knowledge, their expertise into physical books or ebooks, but they are scared, they are doubtful of their abilities, and they are thinking, will my book actually sell? What pieces of advice would you give to these kinds of individuals? Because 2023, bet me, I have called it my year of expansion. I mean,
Yeah,
digital
sort of.
expansion. That's what I've called it for myself physically. I don't know. I've not gone to 31st night, but I have already prophetically defined, you know, I've done my own prophetic declaration that next year will be my
As a bishop of your church.
yes, now. Every. Already declared.
All right,
Please,
sir.
what are your takes? What would be your piece of advice to individuals like this? People think
All
Nigerians don't
right.
read, Nigerians are not reading, nobody will read my book, blah blah blah. But then they're there and they're watching us, we are making money, we're selling. So tell them, give them pieces of advice, what they ought to start thinking as we begin to move into 2023.
All right. So For me, Emeka, the money is sweet. When you wake up in the morning and the alert is coming in, maybe three pieces, two purchase, four purchase online. Either seller is crediting your account or paystack is crediting your account or direct transfer is coming in. The money is sweet. So I think that's enough reason for somebody to go and get out there and publish his book for 2023. But outside the book, right? I want you to think about the fact that the life-changing experience that somebody can experience by reading your book. No, that's for me. The money is good, but as in what somebody will experience, right, by getting my book and going through my online course, for instance, and having a life-changing experience. For instance, the experience that I shared before now, where I took my team and I to Lagos for 4 days, and just that, like, and I packaged that experience into an ebook and an online course, and somebody who was down to 2,500 naira, right, for example, and Jude by name, and went through that course and that experience and the ebook and all that, and the entire support system, and in 1 week was able to raise about 283,000. And it was about 7,000, 16,000 short of 300K. His first message to me on WhatsApp was life changing. Say, sir, this is something I was never expecting. So just by packaging that experience into an ebook, somebody goes through it and experiencing that fundraising experience, for me, it's life changing. So whenever somebody get across to me, sir, I read your book when I was campus, it's life changing. As in this happened to me after I read the book. That for me is a life changing experience. So if you are contemplating writing a book and you are still dragging your feet, aside the money that you are going to be making out of the money out of the book you are publishing, right? What is the impact? What do you think will be the impact of somebody reading that your book and it's life changing, and you become a contributor, all right, to changing that person's life? For me, it's just something that you should invest into. Books are a way of, as in, it's a legacy. For instance, each one of us probably on this live stream right now is not going to be here in another 50 years or maybe in another 60 years. You'll be gone. But for me, my children will be able to tap into my brain, right, and understand that this is how my great grandfather was thinking. This was his accomplishment. These were his values. These were his thought pattern. My book that I've written, right, will be a guide to my next generation, my children. Like now, I can't trace any of the achievement of my great great grandfathers, what they would maybe placed anywhere. But with my books, it's a legacy for my generation that your great grandfather, your great 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 grandfather, 200 years from now, Jesus tarries. My grandkids will pick my books. They are 10, they are 50, they are 60, and look at the shelf and look at what your father wrote, and be able to read them and look at my thought pattern, my belief system, the things I thought, all the money that I made, the work that I created for them that I enjoying, how it was created. That all these are packaged into my books and they are able to go to do that alone is a legacy for your children. Then your generation after you, people who doesn't know you at all, being able to transform their life where you are long gone, that is life changing. Don't forget, I've said before, the journey for me started with the fact that when I heard a statement, not that I read from a book, but it came from my spirit that morning, that before great authors of today, all right, they have always been great authors. And after great authors of today, there will yet be great authors. So, who said your name cannot be on the list of the great authors that will be talked about in the next 50 years, in the next 10 years, the next 20 years? These are reasons why you should consider putting your book, right, into writing and putting it out there. So, I think that would be my final word. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Dan, for this fantastic conversation. Guys, I hope that you've gotten some good value. Yeah, so let me see some what people have said here. Yassi bin Wali, I can't pronounce that name. It's an Arabic name, I think. Perfectly said. Well done. Hannah Godfrey Okpaje saying, really learning a lot. DK, my friend, Daukuru Jonah, all the way from UK. Love this digital expansion. I usually have a word for the year, but this is fantastic. Thank you so much. It means that there are now confirmations for my prophecy. Thanks so much, DK, right? Uh, DK again. Learned a lot from Dan. Money is sweet. Absolutely. The money is sweet when it comes in every day. Trust me, today is I don't know whether to say this afternoon. So I usually tell my wife not to worry, And the thing about my wife now is that she has come to understand me in a certain way that when I even say I don't have money, she'll say you you. I say yeah, like this, like telling me you don't have money. You know why? Because sometimes when I'm doing campaigns, she sees my phone, how the alerts are coming in and coming in. So when I say I'm coming in, she's like, you. This woman does scope me well. So this morning, in addition to the things that I have bought for my father and my in-laws, so usually Christmas like this, say buy for my parents, buy for my in-laws. So I sent her 150K to go and buy those things. So this when she now went to the market, just before we went live, she was the one that called me and said, things are expensive, or this, that. She now give me bill. I said, okay, and I'm about to go on live. I said, okay, don't worry. So I looked at my phone again. More payments have come in today. Today is the eve of Christmas. And I sent another extra 50K. It's the beauty of when you're able to do your work, and you're earning, and it doesn't mean coming in millions, but there's something that this daily 2,000 coming in here, 1,000 coming in here, 10,000 coming. There's this kind of level of confidence it gives you, knowing that tomorrow it looks like the tap. Wake up in the morning, you open the tap keeps on dripping and dripping and dripping till nighttime. You switch it off again. The next morning again, you open it again, it starts dripping and dripping and dripping. You always know that the tap at the back of your yard or the back of your house is dripping water. That's just the sensation that it gives you, right? Tomorrow again, I'm launching it on Christmas Day, and I know that a lot more individuals. That's just the beauty of it. I'm not a multi-millionaire. Yeah, I earn millions from time to time. I'm not yet a multi-millionaire, which is the level I'm aspiring to get to. But there is joy when you have written a book, you have written an ebook, and people buy them. Just some days back, a man who has been following me right here on social media. That's one beautiful thing about social media. That's why I don't come on social media to exchange banters, negative banters with individuals. Even though when you hurt me with certain words, there's a way that I will stylishly want to insult you, but I will garnish it in such a way that people reading it will not be like, this guy is a violent guy, that kind of thing. Because I know that I'm in the face of people. And this guy came and said that he's in the US, that he wants to order all my books so that they can send my book through his pastor to him. And he asked me how much for all the printed books. And I gave him, the guy didn't waste time. He sent money. He paid for all the books. And I went and sent the book through DHL, signed my copy, my autograph on all of them, and sent off through DHL to Lagos. And then from Lagos, they will take it to him in the US. And that's the joy of it. You never can tell when you wake up one day, somebody's ordering 20 copies, somebody's ordering 100 copies of your book. You never can tell. Your only duty is to write them and consistently make the noise about them. So for me, it's like I'm feeding the clouds, and at a point in time, the rain will always drop at some point. So, yeah, they will come down. So thank you so much for these revelations and these things that you've shared with all the expositions. Trust me, I've learned from you about that. God making a prayer that God should bless you. That's one thing I just learned today. All right. Saying a prayer, God bless me, is actually a wrong prayer because God has really blessed us. And the only problem is understanding how you can transform those spiritual blessings inside of you into material blessings, which are material expressions. That is one takeaway that I'm taking. The second takeaway is the fact that even though they are great authors, there will be great authors in the future. And this is one thing that is keeping people down because people are, okay, this person has written. Oh, Emeka Nobis has written everything. Oh, I'm right. I'm like, man, do you know one of the books I'm bringing out is even this video training that I'm doing with you, this video training, this audience money. I'm converting it into a book. So those videos are 2-3 minutes. But in my book now, I will be able to write stories. I'll be able to expand more, and it will be a book. This book. So you have a book, you can have a video, if you like to watch my face and enjoy my voice. So have a book, you have the video. And that's multiple means of making money from something. So thank you so much, sir, for lending your thoughts to this. I enjoyed myself. I had a great session with you. I look forward to having another conversation on the 26th. Tomorrow is Christmas Day, so there will be no conversation with anybody. People should go and chop rice and drink and everything we want to do. 26th, we'll be back again with another powerful author that will be sharing ideas and perspectives with us. So from me to you, Dan, in the city of Asaba, and to everyone who tuned in for this live stream, God bless everyone. Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas to your families. If you don't celebrate Christmas, at least have a good time tomorrow. Have a nice Sunday, and we wish you all the best as we move into the new year. More expansion, more grace, more exploits, more opportunities. Meet more amazing individuals and resources who will help you to push you to bigger destinations. God bless you, Dan. I'm very excited and I'm grateful for it. To everyone, it's me saying goodbye and have a wonderful night rest.
Same to you, sir.
Yeah.